Hello, guys. Welcome to the Teen.h2h platform. I'm your host, Nadia Kabanda. And to the new subscribers, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for stopping by and just liking my page and your comments. I totally appreciate. This month's topic is about self-esteem. And we have done it from a lady's perspective. We have done it from a teenager's perspective. But now I have a guest here, a friend of mine. He'll introduce himself. And we'll talk about self-esteem from a man's perspective. Because, yeah.
Hi guys, my name is Antony Mushiyii, and thank you for having me. Yeah, self-esteem for wanaume.
Sometimes I wonder, do men have self-esteem? Because whenever mnakunga roho ngumu, kai, you guys are roho ngumu kabisa. So sometimes I wonder, do men really have self-esteem? Because for a lady, ladies being emotional, we are emotional human beings. So it's easy for you to know, it's easy for you to detect a self-esteem issue in a lady because of the way we carry ourselves, because of the way we react to things. But for Jamas, it's so hard for you to be able to pick out, does this guy suffer from self-esteem? So what is self-esteem in a man's perspective?
Self-esteem. Naturally, men are trained not to be emotional. Wanasema mwanaume ni kukaa ngumu. But I think we suffer inside. Self-esteem issues in men show off in things like when you find a man beating their wives. This is how.
Esteem issue.
Yeah. That is how they're expressing their manhood. They think they're not man enough. So beating their wife is expressing their manhood. That is a person who has an issue with their self-esteem. And among young men, especially my bachelor, you buy like a home theater, and you in the plot you want everyone to know that you have a home theater. This is a guy who has issues with who they are, so they're finding comfort in that home theater. They are doing that so that other people may see this is the man.
I never ever.
Those are ways which we express low self-esteem as men, but we do it subconsciously. So
You want to tell me men don't realize they have self-esteem issues? It needs like can I say investigation or thorough self-check for you to realize you have self-esteem issue?
yes. You have to be in touch with yourself. If you're not in touch with yourself, you'll end up thinking what I'm doing is natural. I'm a man. I don't cry. These things I'm doing, I've seen other men doing them, but deep down, you will realize you have an issue with how you view yourself. Your self-image is so bad, you are expressing it in those things. And I was reading an article. It was saying even men that rape women or young girls, it is an issue they have with themselves. They're thinking, I'm not man enough to approach a lady, have a meaning relationship. So what do I do? Ninakaa mahali ninategea, then you find they've raped a lady.
Oh.
That's a man struggling with their self-image.
What you're saying, you need to, as a man, you need to be attached to yourself for you to realize that you got esteem issues. How do you come to that point of realization that I'm having self-esteem issues?
I'll just say you take an inventory of yourself.
Which you guys rarely do, because mnasemanga hizo ni vitu za madem. Hizo ni vitu za madem, so we are not going to do this shit.
No, it's a problem with the society. The society has told us, man up. If you try telling a person your issues, they're like, we sasa usikue mtu wa vitu peti kama hizi, unajua. But deep down you're hurting. You and in the end you discover if you don't sit down and call yourself for a meeting and check yourself up, you see this is the thing which I'm doing wrong, this is the one that I'm supposed to do, you will end up being a man that you don't like. other people don't like, you'll end up hurting your wife, your family, your friends, because you're not in touch with your inner self. So I'd say at your own free time or every day, you sit yourself down, ask yourself, who am I? Why do I do these things? Do I consider myself a man because I am wealthy, because of the car that I own, because of the properties that I have, because of having 10 girlfriends, things like that.
Cute girlfriend,
If those are the things that are making you feel like a man, then you have a problem with your self-image, and you have to do something about that.
What makes you identify yourself as a man? Because I think they say men are physical, right? So men get attracted by anything that is physical, be it a good car, be it a good house, be it a good woman. So what's really, because that is how the society, or that's how the world has defined us, that men are physical and women are emotional. But what is a man value?
That's a tricky one. It's a tricky one. I think it depends with the man himself. So maybe I can speak for myself.
Yeah, that would be better actually.
Yeah. What what makes me a man? I think it's how I treat people, the values that I uphold in me.
What are the values you uphold?
Number one is integrity. Integrity applies across the board, like everywhere, from home, at work, how you do things, and the moral standards that you apply when you're doing anything in this world. People are looking up to you. You have to be a guy that another young man will look at and say, I'd like to be like
So and so.
this guy. Yeah. So integrity applies everywhere, in a relationship, in maybe if you're a, if you are a big brother at home and your mother tells you, unajua osha vyombo,
Kazi ya wanawake.
you don't sleep, alafu jioni ikifika saa zile mama anakaribia kukuja ndio unakimbia kuosha vyombo. Your brother is seeing you, your younger brother is seeing you, anasema this is how it works. If you're told do this and you do that in applying all diligence, then you're doing yourself a great favor and even the society as a whole.
Can I say self-esteem issues do not crop up? Because I was chatting with another friend of mine, the blog that I did the first one, she was telling me self-esteem issues does not crop up when you're older. It crops up from your teenagehood. It's something that you've grown up with it. You just don't wake up one day and then you're having esteem issues. It's something that has been nurtured pole, even from your teenagehood, but you never realized it. But now as you grow old, things get magnified.
It's very true. From the household that you've been raised, how people talk to you. Some households, mzazi anakuita ng'ombe. You're good for nothing. You go to a school and the teacher is telling you you're getting 0 in English. Kwani wewe ulizaliwa aje? Things like those. We tend to overlook them when we are young, but they're the things that build up, and at some point they spill over, and you find yourself doing things subconsciously that you're not supposed to do, like being abusive. It didn't just start there. Ilianzia chini, in your family, the people that you walk with, your friends. If there are people who every time they're telling you negative things about yourself, wewe huwezi, wewe hata sijui unakaaje, and you keep them in your heart. That is how you build low self-esteem in you as a person.
When you're facing issues at a teenage level, whereby now all those words are being spoken to you, everyone is just telling you how bad you are, how not qualified you are, and you've never had a sitting with your dad, like man to man, son, father kind of dialogue. Father figures can come up and raise up these men can be something that is effective.
Personally, I've been raised in a family of 6 boys, no girl,
Yeah.
no girl. So lazima ungekuwa mgumu, lazima ungekuwa mgumu. If you say mimi sitakula hii mboga, be sure someone else will eat it. Hakuna mtu atakubembeleza. So you see, from that background, you grow up knowing, it must be tough.
Yes.
It must be tough. That's who a man is. If you're sick, there is no cry. Unakulia. Kama unaumwa, ukienda kulilia mama anakwambia, wewe ni mwanaume. What are you crying? So that's how we were brought up. But that is wrong.
How do we get to that point of opening up? Because yes, people say men should open up. It's that random thing, but how do we get men to open up from that point when they're young teenagers, where they're trying at least to find some sort of self-identity? What do you think can be the effective way of making men to open up?
I think we can do men conferences. Na si ile men conference inakwanga siku ya Valentine. We can do more and more of these conferences where we're just men sitting there, people sharing the experiences, so that we can know it is not only me. Tuko wengi, yeah. Si mimi peke yangu nalianga, kumbe kuko na mtu mwingine analia. So we will be just a place where you can be vulnerable. The fathers too should sit their children down, especially the sons, and tell them it is alright to feel broken sometimes. It is alright to cry. Yeah,
I think that's right.
Mwanaume ni machozi. It is alright.
Lakini kile nitafanya.
No, si ile kulia tena, ile unalia ni kama when nini, but it is alright. It is alright to accept that this thing has defeated you. It is alright to ask for help. We should be told these things by our parents, the society, pastors in churches, and other male figures who are in influential positions.
Let me get a little bit deeper. Have you ever suffered from self-esteem issue?
Yeah. Yes, so much.
Example?
But back then I didn't realize. In school, I thought I was an introvert. I was not an introvert. When we were growing up and everyone is telling you, personally, there is a time, there is a lady we used to stay in the same apartment with. So sijawahi sahau jina yake, anaitwa Wamboi. She used to pass her exams so well. So every time I brought my results, my father would tell me, "Yani wewe huwezi kuwa kama Wamboi. Huwezi kuwa kama Wamboi." That thing broke me down. So I think, every time I used to tell myself, I'm not good enough. Maybe si kama Wamboi. So I didn't even participate in anything in school. I didn't even think in primary school that I could even be a prefect, or nikipata that opportunity ningejiambia, I'm not good enough. Mimi si kama Wamboi, mimi sipitangi. And my KCPE, the thing that made me pass my KCPE, nili pass by the way, ni Wamboi. I thank God for that situation. I going to sit for my exam, I told myself, I want to prove my dad wrong. Ninataka kumwonyesha Wamboi haizi nishinda. So that made me work hard, and I passed. Nilimshinda. The day the results came, nilienda kuconfirm kwao. Kwanza amepata ngapi? Before niende niambie babangu nimepata hii. So when I went to my father nikamwambia Wamboi amepata hii na mimi nimepata hii. So nimemshinda. And words like those wewezi ama you find the parent telling you, kwani wewe watoto wengine walizaliwa baada ya miezi 9 na wewe umezaliwa baada ya miezi 6, nini inakuanga mbaya na wewe? And I didn't realize I had esteem issues going through secondary school. I was, I thought I was an introvert. I could not speak before people. I could not, I could not do anything.
Before people.
Yeah. So after school, when I joined the youth group in our church, that's when I started dealing with these issues. Spending time with good people who are seeing and telling you, the things that you can do, not the ones you cannot do. Yeah. And slowly I started opening up, talking to people at church, and yes, now I can talk to the whole nation.
I think I can pick from what you say, guys. Comparison. I think parents have the issue of comparison. Okay, you're not good like Nani. Parents should stop that thing of comparing. Like, why is so and so passing in exam and why you're not passing in exam? Or why is so and so doing this and you not doing this? Even in terms, not even in terms of comparison, in terms of people in your class, people also in your family. I feel some points even family compare you to your siblings. If you look at all the siblings here, they are performing. What is wrong with you? You get to be termed as the black sheep of the family, like that person who is not. You end up feeling like you're never good enough, even being in that family itself, you're not good enough. Because wewe tunataka makosa tu because
and wewe ndio unapatikana.
And I think wewe kupatikana na makosa is because you have had so many negativity, so many push-ups of negativity that you just become careless. Not conscious, subconsciously you just become careless.
Yes.
You get you're not good enough. Wewe unasumbua ni kichwa ngumu. So those words, I think they get into your subconscious mind and you're like, Sintachapwa tu. Thank you. As in, for you, you feel like it's okay to be rebellious. Because sometimes even when you go to high school, maybe kulikuwa na kesi ya striking. Automatically, even maybe you're sick that day, even maybe that day you're not in school, but automatically your name just appears. Because as in, people are just so used to you not being on the right track.
Yes.
I think it affects you big time. Comparison. We need to identify that children are individuals and they are different. Even twins.
Yes.
They are the same physically, they are the same area, but when it comes to character and some nitty-gritties, they're completely different. And that's one thing I think parents and people who are, let's say, elders, when you're young, your elders should understand that this kid, as much as they are twins and this one is getting an A, it's okay for this other one to get a B or a C. Because they don't have the same mental capacity. Sometimes even I feel like it spills over. At least for you, when you cleared high school, you're able to join church. I can say church really helped you.
Very much.
You're able to join church and join youth groups, and you're able to share your emotions and your life journey with people who value you for who you are. But the people who are not in a capacity or they're not in a position to join such youth groups or to join such kind of environment. So the self-esteem from their teenagers spills over to their youthfulness.
Yes.
And that's not why you're saying now people find alternative. You find the alternative of drug taking because you want to feel good about you.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, true.
You're high. You're on top of
everyone. Not if you are high, don't mkali. You feel like you can beat everyone and everything. So you find an alternative to substitute that negative thought that you've always been told, good enough, you'll never get married, you'll never do what. So you find another alternative to fill up that space.
Yeah, you go to every bad thing that you can imagine. Others join gangs just to feel, I am man enough. Wacha niwaonyeshe ninaweza. So you become a gangster. Pornography, people start pornography because of how they feel about themselves. I cannot be accepted by a lady, so you find yourself in pornography. That's where you find uh, like that's a comfort zone for you. You go to that. Drugs, as you've said, and rebellion.
Rebellion big time.
Rebellion. People say wacha sasa niwaonyeshe. Si ukisema
Eh.
mimi ni mbaya. Now I want to show you how bad I can get. Yeah, it all starts from there, and I think what can I say? People should not judge who a person is maybe by the grades they're getting in
Performance,
school.
yeah.
People should not judge me because of the money that I have in my pocket. These are the things that are making people feel so bad about themselves. When you're in a family gathering, you're trying to say a point, but mzazi anasema, we ngoja, wacha huyu brother yako mwenye ako na pesa mingi aongee. You feel so bad.
Ama unauliza kuna nini?
Uko na nini? Unajua? When they're making a decision like they want to buy maybe a land, you cannot even talk because maybe you've given 10,000 and someone else is giving 500,000. So hey, you're feeling wow, mimi wacha ninyamaze tu, wacha ninyamaze. Or they're saying we nyamaza, hujaoa bado.
I know.
Your brothers ni wadogo na wameshaoa. That deals so bad with your self-image. So you're inferior every time you're going to work and you're thinking, and sometimes you have great ideas that can help your family, your workplace, but you cannot share these ideas because you're thinking, I am inferior. I don't have money. I don't have a car. I don't have a wife.
Yeah,
because people are attaching your value to these things. So people should just take people the way they are, for who they are, their character, what they can do well. Even if this guy is failing in mathematics, maybe they can do good in sports. Encourage them in that area. If you encourage them, at some point they will improve. Anyone who has encouragement, they work hard. There is a story a pastor was telling us in our church. His kid was the last one in the class, the last of the last.
Wow.
The only time they became second last is when the person who was becoming second last was not in. They called him and told him, huyu mtoto wako lazima ako na shida. But the dad refused. He refused to accept that huyu mtoto, na he told the teacher, don't ever tell my child that he's a failure. When the child was doing the KCPE, he got 400 and around 20 marks.
Wow.
And in secondary school, he got an A. If you keep encouraging a person, they will push harder, they will work harder. So it doesn't make things good if you tell them, you are a failure. When you come back, things like those, you're not supposed to tell people these things.
How do you heal from self-esteem, if you doesn't mind? Not from that point, okay, from an individual point, like making it a personal initiative. How do you feel from a personal perspective? Excluding external hypeness, like people can encourage you, yes, I can come and tell you you're good, but within you feel like you're not good. Still, have not helped you because I think it needs to come from within you, so that now whatever people are telling you outside, it can be very impactful. Manifest that self-congratulation mode. Like how do you self-uplift yourself?
So the first thing I'll advise is first accept that you have a problem with how you view yourself. After accepting, then you can start dealing with that problem. And the things that worked for me is I started doing the things that I was good at. Like I discovered I could lead people. So in church I joined groups that the small leading groups. I started leading people, and people were telling you, this guy is different in doing things. How is doing this? So when you're faring on the things that you can do well in, you're good at, it encourages you. Then another thing that worked for me is kujiambia. There's a voice that
Self-affirmation.
yes, there's a voice that will always try to tell you you're not good. When you're trying to speak, you have the answer, but unanyamazia. So you tell yourself, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. Every morning that you wake up, remind yourself that I can do this. I am not a failure. I am not the E that I got in school. I am not the job that I did badly in. I am not that. I am changed. So affirm yourself. Tell yourself positive things. Learn to think positively about yourself. The thing that you're thinking, should I or should I not? Go for it. Go for it. Even if you don't get it the first time, keep going for it. The day you will get it, you'll have moved in another level of thinking of yourself highly. So affirmation is
Exactly.
the best way to go. Yeah. Yes.
You say that you identified you're a leader. How did you identify you're a leader?
So I'd say by faith.
No.
So one day in church there was a meeting, a youth group meeting. So in that youth group meeting, someone asked, we need people that could teach teenagers. The only verse I knew then was John 3:16. But I told myself I can do this. I am good with young people, I can do this. So I raised up my hand and they took me. It was not as easy as I had imagined teaching people, but the first days were tough. But I discovered when we are out, maybe in a picnic or a retreat, other people are trying to bring these young people together, but it is a very difficult task for them. So everyone is coming, Tony, tuletea watu hapa. So when I'm telling these teenagers, kujeni tufanye hii kitu, they listened to me. They used to listen to me. For class nilikuwa nalemewa kufundisha, lakini when we are out and even in class, when someone wants to teach and people are not listening, if I tell them to listen, they listen. So I discover,
you can be a
leader. Yeah.
So the best way to discover you're a leader is to try it out.
Yes.
Because you tried it out. You didn't even know about
Yeah,
it.
I did.
You're like, okay, so let me be a Chinese teacher. You tried it out and I think it brought the best out of you because now you're able to see that when you talk, people listen.
Yeah.
And also other people are able to identify by the way you do, this guy is a leader. So you just try it out.
Try it out. Anything.
Just try it out. There's no wrong in trying out and failing.
Yes.
Try out, you fail, you pick something else. You try out, you fail, you pick something else. And the
Keep
sequence
going.
continues. But one day, definitely, you'll find out that one thing
that you're good at. Yes.
What is your parting shot?
My parting shot is I would like to tell every young person out there, you're not who people say you are, especially the people that say negative things about you. Do not beat up yourself because you're failing in exam. Just keep pushing, keep trying, and you will get better. There's also a purpose for why God created you. There's something that God blessed you here to do. So don't think it's only Nani and Nani who is something that they are doing. You too can do something. Just keep searching for that thing, and when you find it, don't fear. Go forward and do that thing, and it will change the world. Things Share with someone. Whatever is hurting you, share with an elder, with your friends whom you are trusting. It's okay. It's okay to fail at some things, because when you fail at these things, you you learn other way of doing things. So go for it. Don't put yourself down. Don't put yourself down. Yes.
Wow, that's inspiring. That's great. Thank you for coming.
Thank
There's
you.
a quote that I read somewhere that says, "Pick your thoughts the way you pick your clothes every single day." When you wake up, I know you don't just go to your closet and then just pick anything to wear.
Yeah.
You strategize whether I'm going to dress this shirt with these shoes, with this trouser, with this coat, with this jacket. So the same way you pick, the same way you're so selective in picking your clothes, is the same way you're supposed to be so selective in picking your thoughts. Like every minute, think about what you're thinking about. Make a pause in your thought life and say, "Oops, Bede nafikiria, what am I thinking about this moment?" When that thought of you not being good enough comes, tell yourself, "No, I may not be good enough in what I did, but I'm good enough in this." Always find a counteractive thought, something to counterattack. Yes, always find something to counterattack your negative thoughts. When you feel like, oh, everyone is progressing in life and I'm not progressing in life, at least find a reason to thank God. Like, but they may be progressing, but at least I'm alive. Because, well, I said, people out here who are in hospital struggling, especially during this COVID season, people are just in tough seasons. But every single day that you wake up and you find yourself okay, you're not sick, at least you can find a meal or two to eat, is enough reason to counterattack any negative thought that wants to crop, that wants to crop out.
Definitely.
Yes, so it's me, your host, and my guest here, Tony. Thank you for watching. Thank you for staying tuned until this point. For any comment down below. Subscribe, share, and yeah, next time. Let's meet next time.